Hi guys, how are you all? Sorry now. How are you keeping? Hi Karen, how are you? How was the weather, Karen? Hi Nana D. Hi Hazel, how are you? Hi Walter. Sooby Dooby Doo. It's a good one. Maybe for a different channel. How about that? Hiya Ben. I'm good, Nana D. I'm changing my glasses. I can't see a thing now. How are you all doing, guys? Hi Nancy. Good and warm and sunny in Florida. Oh wow. What I would give for it's even cold inside. We're not long in at all. Um it's just the weather is just miserable. Still miserable in Ireland. It's got colder and we've just had rain really. I actually went out today in the rain because I just no choice. Hi Thomas, how are you? Um I had no choice but to go out in the rain, but we didn't have to drive too far, thankfully. It's a little Church of Ireland cemetery, and just it's just a beautiful cemetery and beautiful headstones in it. Really, really nice. And some of them had these huge, like do you know, the chain link fences that go around them. Some of these were just something I've never seen before. And there's a quite a I suppose the family that they have a vault there would be very well known to Wexford. So we went in to see what we could see in there. Um, oh, Karen, I tell you, you wouldn't miss the cold at the moment. It's that really, you know, when it gets into your bones nearly, that you get that chill factor. As well, Hazel, rain over there, oh Lord, just drive you mad. You can't do anything. It's what we call over here wet rain. It's today it wasn't torrential rain or anything. It was just really, really heavy drizzle that you think you won't get wet in, but I got completely soaked in it today. Hi Larry, how are you? Hi Marianne and hi Jim. Oh, was he on Jim? Oh, I'll have to rewatch that. Hi Peggy, how are you keeping? So guys, what is the story? What is the story? How did you find the Seymour Mausoleum? Wasn't it just amazing? Absolutely. Oh, to stand there, to see that building. As I said, Irish Eyes was the one that he's a Galway man anyway, so he had been watching that mausoleum for quite a while, and obviously he has family down there, so we were down there visiting. But of course, I have to bring the gimbal and try and get out there. And as I said, he's been watching this mausoleum saying, we have to do this, we have to do this. And obviously, yes. Uh, but from what we had seen online, they were repairing it and renovating it and all. And we had spotted this open, you know, that opening above those big steel doors. And I actually presumed that that would be closed when we got there, but I was still eager to see it because the mausoleum itself was it's stunning. It is standing there. It is like standing almost at the foot of the pyramids. It was that kind of look, even though that's not the style they went for. To me, it felt like facing on. It was like a pyramid of some sort of Egyptian style. Um, and when we got there and we were walking towards it, I kept saying, I think it's open. I think it's open. I think it's open. And I mean, you could hear from my voice, I was so excited. I mean, unfortunately, it had been um, vandalized. I don't know whether it was grave robbers or what their intention was. And that's always sad to see. But for me, um, and the morbid side of me, it is just quite amazing to stand there so close and to be able to show ye as well. Um, just that coffin, it was just, it's crazy, crazy. But I mean, the Seymours themselves were very well known, um, and I presume very wealthy because they built that mausoleum. And it's that saying again that we've heard from time to time: you can't bring it with you, and that is true, and that is the way life is. And but it was just an amazing find, and the structure itself, just even if we had never got to see inside, just to be there in front of that was just an amazing thing to be able to bring you. And then prior to that, then we had the Daily Mausoleum, that was also Galway. And once again, we get to look in. I mean, there are very few mausoleums in Ireland, and the ones that we have found are scattered around the countryside, and you've got to drive, and there's not an awful lot online until you find them, and then you can try and source the information. The Daily Mausoleum, just another beautiful structure, and again, it's sad to see the way it is inside. Obviously, it's far worse condition than the Seymour Mausoleum. But I mean, again, you've all those coffins. I think I counted 7 or 8. I think Hazel said she counted more. And I mean, they would have been literally on top of each other, and it looks like the wet and damp did get in there. Hi, David. How you keeping? Happy New Year to you. Nancy, I was teetering over the side of that. I mean, nothing really stops me. Uh, when I get excited like that, I think danger just goes out of my mind altogether. But Irish Eyes had a firm hold at the end of my coat while he was also trying to, get the torch in. And it was very hard because you just had that gap. So he was trying to go up and down with the torch to try and get in. And you're looking at the camera and you're looking with your eye. And it's really hard to kind of be able to get the whole thing together. But I think we did a good job. Thomas, have you snow? And Ben, -11 for Ben. Oh my God. Yeah, so Nancy, as I said, I will try anything, and I will say if there's something to see, I kind of, I suppose, danger kind of, it doesn't register with me at the time, but when I had finished and had gone to the other side, I kind of was, you could hear me. I was like, trying to maneuver myself into position to get it. Yes, Jim, it'd be a great place for him, but yeah, Hazel, it's just amazing. I think it's not for everybody. It's certainly not for everybody. I mean, some people just find that just, it goes against the grain of everything that you believe in. I mean, I don't know anybody that would stand that close that wouldn't be prepared to take some sort of a peep inside. But I was talking to some of the subscribers here, I can't remember who it was, and what they said was actually true. I would imagine that that opening there possibly had the Seymour name on it. Maybe it was a great event. But I kind of thought that maybe it was either the name or maybe the date. Who knows? David is from Baltinglass, and that's Wicklow, David, is it? Oh, Irish Eyes is here. Oh, Irish Eyes is here. Yeah, he did a great job in finding the Seymour Mausoleum, and he does great detective work. Um, I mean, we have so much that we want to do. We certainly want to do Glasnevin, but we both really, really, really want to go to London, and possibly visit George Michael's grave. And they have some beautiful, beautiful mausoleums there as well. But I think it would take you possibly 2 days. There's two separate areas, as far as I know, and it would take you a couple of days easily to just wander around. And that's really what I want to do. I want to wander around Highgate Cemetery and just take it all in and bring you along with us. So that is something, hopefully, fingers crossed, we will be able to do at some stage this year, you know. Linda Robertson, how are you? Maguire is a very Irish name, Linda. McKeithen, is that right? Actually, it's a name I don't know. Cherokee Indian, wow. David Wicklow is absolutely, it's, I spent a lot of my childhood out with my family camping all around Wicklow, Glendalough especially. Um, Wicklow is just stunning. The Wicklow Mountains, Powers Court. I'm sure David knows all those places. It is possibly, um, is it the Garden of Ireland they call it? It is just so beautiful, and it's actually another place on my list is Glendalough. It is an old monastery, and it is filled with hundreds, if not thousands, of graves. Very, very old. I think it's Saint Kevin's Monastery. Am I right? But I would have spent a lot of time, my time, growing up in Wicklow, just out camping like we used to do years ago. You wouldn't do it now. I think you'd be afraid to do it now. But yeah, years ago, you'd pitch a tent and you could be anywhere, and you never had to worry about where you pitched your tent or anything else, you know. So Wicklow kind of holds um, a kind of a soft spot for me, for sure. David, are you born and reared in Baltinglass? 9 degrees, Sandy. Wow. I think it's 6 degrees here. Penny. Hello, Irish Eyes. Thank you for keeping a firm grip on her girl so she doesn't end up head first in the mausoleum. Uh, Happy New Year, Penny. Yeah, curiosity definitely gets the better of me sometimes, but I'm still kind of in awe of the Seymour Mausoleum. I certainly feel, I don't know, it was just the building itself. Even if we hadn't seen inside, it was the building itself for me. It was just such a structure. Did you see those big iron gates? I mean, or doors? I mean, the cost of those alone, without even building anything, it was just absolutely fantastic. Just to stand there, knowing that people were there burying their loved ones. It's just amazing, absolutely amazing. David, I was born in Dublin, but I grew up in Baltinglass. What part of Dublin, David? Glasnevin is another um, amazing cemetery that I really, really want. I mean, there's so many, but those cemeteries are on our, you know, the top of our wish list or our bucket list, for sure. Irish Eyes. Thanks, Penny. I checked first for life insurance, but none, so I spared her. Oh, that's great, isn't it? Thanks for that, Irish Eyes. Yeah, Nana D, it's just fantastic. When we looked in first, I could just see. I mean, I call them niches. I don't think they're niches. They're more like shelves. Um, and that's all I seen. And then, of course, we got the torch and the camera going, and obviously we could see so much more. And then I think we counted four in the Seymour Mausoleum. I think it was four. Um, Two of them, the higher two were in great condition. They didn't seem to have any sort of damage. But the one to the left, it was almost like the lid had been prized up. It wasn't completely gone from it, but it was certainly, you could see the gap around it, you know. Okay, Mary Ann, sleep well. Mind yourself. Chris Brown, I want to see Tinkerbell. You know, we seen a fairy in, well, I think it was certainly something that I couldn't explain, Chris, in Carrigan in Escorty. That video is on the channel. I don't think any of us could figure it out. I took screenshots, I zoomed in, I even put up a separate video of the fairy in slow motion. And I don't know. I've seen birds in the distance. I've seen flies in the distance, or bees or wasps, and it certainly was nothing I can say. I think it might have been. All I can say is it was a fairy. I mean, I didn't go out to do anything other than to read headstones, and I mean, that was just there. It was something I didn't see at the time. It was an edit, Chris, that we found that, and quite, just quite amazing. Yes, Karen is agreeing with me. It was a fairy. Yes. David, I'm not from Baltinglass. I'm from Wexford. So anyway, I'm just trying to catch up on some of the comments there. So this week, I have a few videos to edit. I've one almost ready to go. It's actually an extremely sad story of a young Wexford lady. She was only 21. And hi, Kathy, how are you? It's a very, very sad story, and there is a connection with Tokyo. There is a connection with the USA, and her life was taken from her. And I need to get this one right. There's a bit of editing to do because I want to kind of cover the case a little bit, you know, and I don't, it's, there's a lot of information out there, and I don't want to put in all the gory details. I mean, anyone can Google the girl and what happened to her, but I want to cover it, and I want to remember her. And she is really, really well remembered in Wexford. I mean, you can, you know, I could see that from her resting place. But it is an extremely sad, a sad ending to a young lady's life who was out there living her best life, getting educated out in Tokyo. And it was just, you know, it was circumstances, and her meeting of two American men, and the ending of her life, I suppose. And that one, I have it almost ready to go. It will go up this week. It's just I want to find the right wording, and you know, I don't want to give too much away at the moment. But it is, it's hard to do a video like that. And I mean, you feel so much anger, firstly, for the way she lost her life, and then there's a lot of, I suppose, sadness around the story. And I just want to make sure I do it justice and do her justice and do it right. Do you know what I mean? So that one will be coming up. Then I had a few people kind of in comments ask me to go out and do some, just a normal walk around in a graveyard or a cemetery, and just go back to the old part of just reading the names and having a good look at kind of memorials and headstones. So I will have that one coming, and then, as I said, that the family out in Castlebridge, as I said, they had a connection to um, the Guinness Brewery and all of that as well. So that's, that'll be coming up as well. So a lot on. And let me see, I have a small, just a little segment video of a priest's final resting place as well, and just tell you the little story about him with connections to Australia. So all of those are coming up. So we are very, very busy. And as you know, I went back to work Thursday. And as you know, we're in the height of all of this going on. We won't talk about it because I'm sure you are all sick talking about it. But we are all trying to keep well and get those few little things done, get back to work. And, just busy, busy, busy. Kathy is now part of the Serenity family. It has just popped up here. That is lovely. Thank you, Kathy. Thanks, Nancy. So, guys, what are you at? What are you all at? Some of you have snow. It seems to be pretty rotten weather all around, really, doesn't it? Let's see what I have. Ben, do fairies prefer to be called fae? Do you know, I think I always presumed that when people said fae, it was kind of, I don't even know whether I've pronounced that right. I hope I have. That it was more of a collection of fairies rather than one fairy, if you know what I mean, Ben. Uh, so I think fae is an old kind of Irish um, way to describe, uh, and I would have always thought that it was more of a group of fairies rather than one fairy, but I could be wrong on that actually. I could well be wrong on that. Morgan, Jesse, how are you? That is German, I think. Sorry, I'm just catching up on some of the comments. Sorry, guys, just catching up, see if I've missed anybody. Can you do a story about Lawler Centre bought in glass sometime this year? Need more information, David, please. I mean, you can always email me if you have something that you'd like me to do, if I can at all. My email address is on, I think, in the About part on my channel. Major ice storm upstate. Wow, Jesse, really? Oh no. Yeah, Larry, you've got to keep, you've got to try your best to keep warm. I mean, temperatures all around seem to have really plummeted, haven't they? And it's just you don't realize how quick the cold can kind of set in on you. So you have to be so, so careful. Irish Ice says, rest in peace, Betty White. Absolutely, guys. Betty White, my goodness. I would have, I can remember Betty from some of her films, but I suppose Golden Girls is probably one of my, the role that she played that I kind of really remember her in. Oh, good Nancy. I have actually noticed a very, very slight change in the evening time here in Ireland. It probably gets or starts to get dark around 4:30. That's why we're kind of inside doing these lives at the moment. Well, that and the dreaded internet connection. Um, but I have started to notice a slight, kind of traveling home today around kind of between 4:30, 4. You could kind of see that there is a little bit more of light out still at 4:30 time. So you can see there's a stretch coming. Thank God, because those dark evenings are just you get nothing done. Jim, you'll have to sing it for me. I don't know that song. Would you like to sing it for us? The Black Sabbath song, Fairies with Boots. They were tough fairies, Jim, huh? Crazy rain, but snow all around. It's for Steve. Wow. Guys, you all seem to have the snow. Send over a little bit here to Ireland, really, please. I mean, I don't want to get snowed in or anything. Um, I absolutely adore the snow in the sense of when it's falling. I love being out in it. The kids obviously love it, but I mean, I don't want to be snowed in. And Ireland aren't great for clearing their roads. It just becomes like you just get completely locked in. You can't move anywhere. Maureen, I was just telling everybody that the few little videos that were coming up, I don't know whether you heard me. We have a few nice ones, and then that sad story of the young Wexford girl. She was 21. So I'm going to tell that story and bring you along to her final resting place. Maureen would like some fluffy snow, Maureen, is it? Um, I don't like the lovely fluffy snow. Let's not get the real icy snow that you can't kind of even walk in for fear of falling or something. Did you, Kathy? Wow. We had similar a few years ago, and it just became the snow eventually just turned into it was drifts of snow, and I mean, I don't remember ever in my lifetime seeing such drifts of snow, and then it just froze. And what we were left with was pure packs of ice, and you couldn't even walk across your own yard. Um, it was horrible. And with that, like Kathy is saying there, we lost lots of power. And yeah, it just becomes dangerous, doesn't it? Wow, Kathy, yeah, you need the power then. Yes, yes, that is scary for you. My goodness. Jim, I don't think you would, you know that? I'd say you have a great old voice there. Jim wants to, yeah, do that, Jim, will you? Jim wants to start his own channel. I think Jim would be great on YouTube. I think he would actually be brilliant. No way, Karen. Oh my God, I'm actually cold here, and the heating has just clicked on, and it's freezing cold. And I don't actually, don't. Funnily enough, I don't like it too hot. I'm really fussy, guys. I don't like it too hot. I don't like it too cold either. Just to kind of around 15, 16, 17 degrees is kind of my limit for the heat. I'm not great with the heat at all. But you sitting there in your shorts, enjoying the sun and the warmth, I can almost feel it. It sounds amazing. Oh no, Catty, that is, yeah, it's like Hazel is saying, if you have some O2 bottles, yeah, that's terrible, Catty. Gosh, that is so sad. Oh, Catty, always be prepared for the power outages here can happen at any stage. So, I don't know what year like. It is, that's scary, and it's definitely something to, you've got to mind yourself, Kathy. Oh, Jesse, that does sound fun, actually. That does sound fun. Yeehaw, says Jesse. Yeah, that sounds actually brilliant. That sounds well up my street. You don't even have to be out in it really. If you're just in the truck going through it, that sounds cool. Oh, Karen, a little bit of sun now would just be, oh, and I'm not asking much, like not an awful lot, just enough to heat up the place, get the leaves back on the trees and the flowers, and I mean, oh, bliss. But I have to say, autumn is actually my favorite season just because of the colors. The colors are just amazing. But with that again, we've had awful, awful rain. It's been a mild enough winter, but just too much rain. Yeah, Irish Eyes just mentioned John F. Kennedy. Um, we have just outside of Wexford, we have a park dedicated to John F. Kennedy's his name and his homestead and his ancestors and all of that. It's a beautiful, huge park. All mature trees, beautiful lawns, beautiful lakes. We've ducks. It is actually a really really nice park, and in the park itself is a very small museum, and it has some John F. Kennedy's items, his wife's items. I think there may be clothing, actually, I think, from what I can remember. It's a very, very small museum. And then up from John F. Kennedy Park is actually the homestead of the Kennedys at the moment because of, what, it is closed to the public. And that is something that I think we had discussed here before on this channel. And a lot of you had said that you would like, I mean, I wouldn't, it would take you hours to go around the whole park, but it would be nice to have a look in at the museum part, some of the park, head then to the homestead of the Kennedys, and then I would bring you along to the eternal flame that lights constantly on the New Ross Quay in Wexford. And as far as I know, a flame was taken from that out to America. I'm not sure of exactly where the flame was, but it was, an eternal flame from Wexford to America. And, we could kind of just edit it all together. It would actually be really nice to put that together. Um, there is beautiful video. It's quite hard to find of John F. Kennedy in New Ross and a speech he made to the Irish people. Um, if we could find that, we could pop that up as well in the video. Yeah, the new bridge, Jim. Actually, the new bridge is it's absolutely beautiful. It's real modern, but it is Rose Kennedy bridge, named after Rose Kennedy, I should say. And we could kind of maybe possibly put that into it as well. It would be just nice to. I mean, I am. I won't say a huge fan of John F. Kennedy. I certainly look up to the man. He was something of a hero for me before I understood about the Kennedys, if you understand. Goldie Pip, thank you. £4.49. Thank you so, so much. I appreciate that. I just remember my granddad had, and I think it was like an emerald green book. And I'm going back a long time ago because I was only very small. And the book was real glossy. You know, the papers, the pictures, the whole book inside had that glossy kind of magazine style, if you get me. And all these beautiful photos of John F. Kennedy and just different. I mean, I can't remember what exactly was in the book, but I do vaguely remember as a small child, and I'm talking maybe I was 10, 11, that how handsome he was and just how he loved Ireland, how the Irish people loved him. And, you know, maybe it would actually be something nice to do. And I must actually try and figure out where that book went. I am sure it's still in my mammy's and daddy's home. I'm sure it must be. But it was a book that I remember I just used to, you know, turn the pages and just look at all the photos. And I think that started me kind of, you know, looking up to him or thinking he was, you know, a nice man. And then I suppose the whole sadness around the Kennedys themselves, they had, you know, tough times. Jim, you are probably right. You are probably right. Thanks, Nana D. Yeah, that's right. I think there's probably that footage as well, Irish Eyes, on, if you Googled it, it shows him in the homestead having tea and cake with his relatives. Really, David? I didn't know that. Wow. Hi, Liz. Welcome. How are you? Kathy, do you remember it happening? I mean, I certainly remember, you know, looking when I had this fascination as a child of the Kennedys, and you know, trying to find the footage of that fatal um, car ride. And you know, when I eventually did get to see it, I was just saddened, absolutely saddened. It was just it was an awful thing to happen, regardless. It was an awful thing for people to have witnessed, for his dear wife, for his bodyguards, for the people that were just bystanders on the street. Just an awful thing to witness. And I remember looking and looking and looking and rewinding and looking at the footage. And, just feeling such sadness for, what had happened, and the fact that I had this kind of a fascination about him. It really kind of would rip your heart apart, knowing that he made such a difference for lots of people, and then of course the Irish connection, and to see that happen to him in broad daylight in front of men, women, children, his wife. Just so so sad. And then I remember actually that photo of his wife and his two kids, and the little boy I think was saluting the coffin, and it just so sad. And then of course the whole film, the John F. Kennedy film, just watching that, and it, just this whole sadness around it is just unreal. Hi Sharon, how are you keeping? No way, Kathy. It's actually Irish Eyes and myself were having a conversation the other day about things that stick in your memory. I mean, I have the worst memory in the world, and I'm not ashamed to say it. I really, really do. Um, I can't remember what happened this morning. That is me. But I can remember the day that Elvis Presley passed. I remember where I was. I remember what I was doing. I was four, maybe four at the time. Um, I was sitting um, in the kitchen. My mum was there, and I remember on the radio it specifically said the king had died. And I remember asking Mammy, "Oh, who was the king?" Because at that age, I imagined the throne and the castle, the whole lot. I had no idea who Elvis Presley was, and I remember that. And I think everyone will remember, the Twin Towers, and I think everyone remembers John F. Kennedy, the assassination of John F. Kennedy as well. And it is a piece of history, and it's something that stays in your mind when those things happen. Maureen wants to know, do I get a bad feeling in a graveyard? The only time I've had paranormal experiences years ago, and it wasn't in a graveyard, it was in the house I lived in at the time. I have never really felt any bad feeling, really. The only bad feeling I had was when I went into that empty crypt, I think it was, or a vault. Uh, but I can't say for sure that was a paranormal feeling. It may have been to do with oxygen levels. It may have been to do with claustrophobia, even though I don't suffer from claustrophobia, thank God. It could have been something to do with that. And then there was another time down in a ruined church, and the graveyard didn't give me any kind of bad feeling. But while I was videoing the inside of the little, the ruins of the church, we couldn't actually get in because it was all blocked up. I could hear as clear as day footsteps, clear footsteps. Each step made a sound. And I remember looking up and looking around, and obviously there was nothing inside the church because, as I said, it was completely, it was actually kind of like iron gates on the windows and doors and stuff. And then what I presumed would happen would someone would come around to the side of me outside the church, if you know what I mean, and there was somebody going to be there, and there wasn't. And so in edit, I could remember the exact place I was. So I listened back, and I could still hear these footsteps. And to be honest, Maureen, I don't know what it was. Was it paranormal? I don't know. It was too loud and too. It was, human footsteps, if you know what I'm trying to say. It wasn't an animal. But no, I didn't feel anything bad, and I haven't that I can remember. No, I don't think so. Those were just the only kind of times that I felt anything kind of a bit strange. Actually, the other time then was in a video I suppose maybe a couple of weeks ago now, Saunders Court. I was completely on my own that day, and I certainly felt, I don't know whether it was because I was on my own, but I kept hearing noises around me, and I know I was a little bit more jumpy, if that makes sense. But again, I don't think it was paranormal. F4 Phantom Girl, how are you? Oh, thank you so much. Guys, our channel is growing. There is, when you have a YouTube channel, there is a place where you can kind of see and visit in your account, if you know what I mean. Um, you can see how many watch hours there are or subscribers. So I went in this morning just to have a look. Obviously, I can see, and you can probably see as well, that the subscriber count is going up. But in this month alone, I have gained 400 plus subscribers. In a week alone, there's been 100. And I mean, if we keep growing like that, it will it will help me get further out there. And that's what I really, really want to do. So it is just, it's been phenomenal. The interest in the channel has been phenomenal. The encouragement, your comments, I can't thank you all enough, because I would be nothing without you, and it is as simple as that. Um, we have an absolutely fantastic group here, so any new subscribers, you will be most welcomed. We are, it's just a very positive, happy, loyal group here, and it just means an awful lot to me. It really, really does. The vehicle is now currently in Henry Ford Museum. Wow, is it? The actual vehicle, Mary Jane? Wow, that is. I'm going to have to look that up. That is fantastic. Do I dream about places I go? Um, not not really. Sometimes I have dreams of places I have been to. Um, Sometimes, we were talking about this the other day, just names would pop into your head, and you might find a name on a headstone, and you just wonder, is there a connection there somewhere? Has somebody kind of put that into your head? Um, strange little things like that, that we constantly have, and have done nearly always, had a robin visit us while we're kind of going around cemeteries and graveyards and what have you. And that is always, um, it's always a lovely thing to see. And I mean, I am a true believer in robins being sent, butterflies, white feathers sent as a message from loved ones past. And I always acknowledge the robin when we see him. Um, they're just, regardless, they're a beautiful bird as well. Um, but they are a curious little creature, and we've had them literally hop from one headstone to another. And I will make it my business then to go to each of those headstones to read the names. So, things like that have happened and do happen. Um, so that's an interesting question, and I probably need to be more open about things like that, Maureen. Um, in the future, I know I am open to all things spiritual, and I all things kind of everybody's religion. I love it all. I don't mind, if a spirit comes to me, I have no problem at all, as long as it is a peaceful, nice spirit. As I said, I have had um, paranormal activity before happening to me. I don't think I've ever shared the photos online. I know I did show you from my phone where we had orbs, and these orbs were a mix. It wasn't dust. It certainly wasn't dust. They were too bright. They uh, had different designs on the inside of the orb, if you get me, and it was just quite amazing. And these orbs would appear as we asked for them. Wow, Jim, I'd never heard of that name. Wow, imagine. Hello, Watcher in the Dark. How are you? Wow, so you remember as well of uh, Kennedy's assassination. Wow. Yeah, Hazel, it was that crypt, wasn't it? It was that one that gave me that. It was an awful feeling. I do remember a feeling that I had to leave. Simple as that. And that fuzzy feeling around my head, the feeling hot yet cold. It was just such a strange, strange feeling. Hi, Kimberly. How are you? How are you keeping? Lady Unicorn, how are you? Yeah, Maureen, do you know something? More often or not, I feel complete peace in a graveyard. Um, I probably would find the older graveyards and cemeteries more peaceful, because the newer um, graveyards and cemeteries are always very, very busy with people coming to visit, and that's a great thing. But it's a lot of people, and so in the older ones where they are probably more forgotten, I suppose, the peace there is just, it's amazing. And just to take, and for any of you, just go take a walk, read some of the headstones. I mean, it is part of history that you are reading. They lived, they worked, they had family, and it's nice. I always feel that if you are standing at a grave and reading that person's name, they are no longer forgotten. Even if it's hundreds of years old. It's like that little girl that we put up was a Catherine Rogers, 19, or sorry, 17, is it 1763? Sorry, now the brain is not working again. Um, just to say, or just to put up her headstone, we read her name. She is not forgotten anymore, and it's something any of you can do. Jim liked the chunky Elvis better. Well, I'd have to go against you, Jim. I preferred the younger Elvis myself. Hi, Susan. Not to worry, Susan, not at all. I'm just catching up on the comments, guys. Yeah, it's growing, Maureen. It's brilliant, isn't it? The channel is growing, and please God, it will continue to do so. Nancy, I can't say we've had certain things happen. We were leaving Carrick Cemetery, the one with the ferry, um, And on the way home, the radio just turned up itself. It was just very, very strange. We kind of looked at each other and went, well, what is that about? We've had a light bulb, what we thought the light bulb had blown in the bedroom. And when we went to look, the light bulb was actually sitting on the bed. So it had, strangely enough, unscrewed itself from the light and had landed on the bed, and it was still working. It was really, really strange. I have no, um, I don't know what happened there or what that was about. So those things kind of have happened. Um, Nothing else that I can say for sure. I don't have any fear or anything if they do. Um, because what is there to fear? I mean, obviously, there is the darker side of all of that. But I mean, I do nothing but remember people in cemeteries and stuff. And so, if anybody decided to come home, or if a spirit decided to come home with me, I don't think I'd have a problem with them or them with me, if you know what I mean. Sorry, guys, I'm kind of delayed here on the comments. Watcher in the dark. I was made aware of your channel from Ron. Ah, yeah, Ron is amazing. He has been an absolute gentleman and a huge help. And I'm forever grateful to Ron. And we still keep in contact. We still message each other, and he still gives advice. And I will always listen to Ron because Ron gives the best advice for sure. Thank you, Liz. Yeah, you know, you have to show respect in a cemetery. It's as simple as that. It's somebody's family, son. We were actually in a cemetery today, and the amount of young people that, I was reading the headstones as we walked along, and the amount of young people, the amount of babies is just, it is so sad, so, so sad. And as I say, the video I'm putting together here of that young girl, I keep kind of going back in and editing again because I want it to be a remembrance for her and not the remembrance of her murderer, if you know what I mean. Um, I wanted, I want to tell the story, but I want to put more emphasis on her and what her life meant. And do you understand what I mean? It's I could go out there and tell you all about them as well, her murderer, but I don't really want to. I will put up some details, obviously, and I don't want to go into the gruesome details either, because as I said, you can Google all those things. I just want to be respectful to her and to her family, to her friends. You know what I mean? Please God, you will get to come to Ireland. Yes, that would be lovely. I mean, my dream, and I've said this to Hazel, my dream is to meet up with you. It would be just amazing. That to me would be heaven on earth, that we could all meet up, or at least I can meet up with some of you at some stage, and we can go for one of our walks together. That would be ideal. Ireland has so much to offer. It really, really does. Book time, says Jim. I don't think I'm cut out for the books, Jim, to be honest with you. That is true. Irish Eyes is he is just a pure messer. He really, really is. He's constantly. I'm just trying to catch up in the comments. He's constantly annoying me and putting me off my videos. Yeah, Liz, the graves, 1700s, I mean, just amazing. Like, and I suppose in Ireland we're lucky that we still have an awful lot of them around, forgotten or not, they're there. And once we kind of get a torch at most of them, we can read at least a certain amount of them anyway. Yes, that's exactly it. Go visit a cemetery, walk around, say those names, and they are forgotten no more. No way, Goldie. That is a good story. Wow. Yeah, Hazel, me too. I was always going there with family to clean, the family headstones and stuff. And that's where I think my love for them came. And Irish Eyes is a huge Elvis fan, by the way, if you haven't guessed. Yeah, Liz, 1622. That was the oldest. Yeah. Hazel would drink the cider. Oh, yeah. Ron is a master mind. He has such knowledge, such the way he tells a story. It's gripping, isn't it? He's probably the best storyteller I have ever come across ever. Yeah, Susan, it's always sad to read children's headstones. I mean, it's not the way it should happen, but it does, unfortunately. Uh, Penny Bree, is it? I've never seen a grave with a skull and bones. Yes, we have actually. Well, I have spotted a few on our travels. It is to remind us, I suppose, of our own mortality, I think, is the meaning behind it. It's possibly Latin. Um, I always thought it was kind of skull and crossbones. It has to be to do with pirate or something like that, but it's to do with your own mortality. Yes, Jim, the spirits will guide you. If you're open to it, yes, absolutely. Yeah, Ron has a great to see him buying those headstones with the help of us, his gang, is an incredible thing he's doing. It really, really is. Faces of the Forgotten is Run's channel. F4 Phantom Girl. Faces of the Forgotten. I'm telling you, you will be hooked. Sharon is also a big Elvis fan. Hi, Greg. How are you? Is it cedar trees, Maureen? I think we have cedar trees here as well. Yeah. No way. F4 Phantom Girl says in Rhode Island, I lived across from an old cemetery that was full of the thin black headstones with a skull and crossbones. Wow, that may be something completely different, or it could have been the style back then. It would be interesting to know the dates on those headstones, actually. Thanks, Kimberly. God bless. Thank you, Penny Burry. I hope I am pronouncing that right. Do F4 Phantom Girl, absolutely. He's amazing, absolutely amazing. Put a cider branch down on a grave. Really, Maureen? Guys, I think we are going to wrap it up here before I bore you all to tears. Wow. 1600s, 1700s. I think the one I seen was around the 1700s, all right. So it could actually be the style at the time. It's that, to remind you of your own mortality, I suppose. Maybe it was to do with that. That is lovely, Janice. I like that. Hello, stranger passing by, as you are, so once was I. As I am now, so will be. Prepare for death and follow me. Wow. Thank you so, so much, guys. And Anna D, I don't know about that. Right, guys. Thank you so, so much for dropping in. Uh, wow, Greg, that is so sad. That is awful. Wow. Oh, Jesse, you poor thing. Oh, no. Right, guys, I think I've caught up on most of the comments. If I've missed you, I'm so, so sorry. Anyway, take care. God bless. And I'll have the few videos up coming up that we were discussing. All right. Bye bye. Take care.